Recording in progress.
Alrighty then. Is everybody ready already?
Yes, sir.
Ready?
All right, let's hit it. Hello, and welcome to our humble little podcast. This is Atlantis After Dark, the greatest place in all of cyberspace. Women only call me ugly until they find out how much I make. Then they call me ugly and poor. I'll tell you guys what, I'm ready to go already. You guys are too. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it and meet today's All-Stars. Warming up in the bullpen. People don't know it, but he's a gambling man. Unfortunately, he's not very good. He backed a horse last week at 10-1. It came in at 4:15. It's BIFF by Adam West. What's the word, dude?
How's everyone doing?
Hey,
on this
hey.
awesome Sunday in September.
It's bright.
By the way, fun fact, I was a former professional gambler.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You bested Phil Hellmuth at the poker table, if I'm not mistaken.
I did once, and he got thrown out of the win. He was so angry.
Oh, that's great. If you don't know who Phil Hellmuth is, look him up.
Classic moment.
Yes.
Is that on one of the like the World Series of Pokers or something like
No,
that? Okay.
It was actually when I was a pro. It was a cash game, and it was wild. I bluffed him, and he maintained that he knew exactly what hand I had, and he paid me $100 to show my hand, and I had junk. And he flipped out. He flipped the fuck out. He berated me for like 10 minutes, saying he knew exactly what I had, and he's laying down his cards because he knows that I have ace-7, and he was beat, and he told me how good he was for about 10 minutes, and I never said a word. And then he said, will I show? And I just shook my head no, that I won't show my cards. And then, because I didn't want to disrespect him either. And then all of a sudden he goes, I'll give you $100 to show your cards. And then the crowd, because there was a crowd watching this big cash game, and the crowd started like really getting on me to show my cards. And when I showed a just complete junk bluff, he lost his fucking mind.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. He's the John McEnroe of poker.
Oh, he's a piece of work.
Yeah.
But I have been on TV with him and too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you ever meet?
What's that?
Did you ever meet Doyle Brunson?
I have met Doyle Brunson. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I was a good tournament player, but I really wasn't comfortable with the cash games, which is why I stopped being a pro. Because one thing you have to do when you're being a pro and you're playing at these tables where you have $750,000 in front of you, you have to completely not look at it as money, and you have to look at it as chips.
Yeah. And
Jennifer Harmon once raised me 4 times the size of the big blind pre-flop, and I had Jack 10 of spades. And mathematically, that would be something that you would call in the big blind. And I just, all that could go through my head was, I need to pay a Toyota Camry to see a flop right now. and I'm like, I can't do it. And I folded my cards, I picked up my chips, and I never played poker again.
Wow.
Because I said, if you can't make the right mathematical decisions because you're kind of wooed by the dollars, you're lost. Yeah. That's my poker story. I'm sure that's what everyone came here to listen to.
That's right. Everybody's tuning into Double AD to hear Biff's tale of woe on the
I was just
gambling
thinking
board.
of all the wrestling bets he's lost whenever you were talking about
those
the gambling
bets.
thing. That's what I was thinking.
Those bets.
Don't worry though. After this, we have a clip from Tootie talking about asshole bleaching, so we'll get right back. We'll get right back to where we were.
Oh boy. Well, welcome back to the show today, pal. We are always glad to have you. Next up, he's the Sorcerer Supreme of cyberspace. The other day, he went to the doctor for a routine checkup. The doc said, "I'm sorry, but you're going to have to stop masturbating." He said, "Why?" The doc said, "Because I'm trying to examine you." It's Retpmus. What's happening, Big Kahuna?
Oh, just trying to make it Day by day, one step at a time.
One step at a time. One fist over the other, right?
Exactly.
All right.
And you
Welcome.
alternate quickly.
That's a very tacit compliment.
Just switching off,
Well, I
man.
said you alternate quickly.
My brother was a professional sperm donor. He made money hand over fist.
Oh boy. Well,
Andrew Dice Clay once said, when I first got into this business, I wasn't making much cash. So I'd go to the sperm bank, drop a load for $50. It's a day's pay. Once in a while, I'd come in with my hands all wrapped up like I burnt them or something and said, hey, can I get a nurse in here to help me with this?
oh God. Oh, Andrew Dice Clay. What a pop culture icon of American 80s.
Absolutely.
Right. What the hell? He's a product of his time. Although I did see him recently. He was in a Pam and Tommy TV show, I want to say. He did a pretty good job on that one. He was playing a scumbag, so he did a pretty good job.
If you're going to see Dice in something, he's going to be typecast.
Right. Yeah.
He's got one shtick.
Yeah. Anywho, I'm going to get through these intros. We're never going to get past the show today. Thanks for coming today with us, Bal. We appreciate you, Retpmus. All right, let's think about moving. But, take it easy. Joining us on the show today, she recently got a new job driving bus in the city. The other day, she struck up a conversation with a passenger. She said, people are only valuing things they don't have. Do you think that's the case? And the passenger said, what, do you mean money? She said, no, I'm talking about the brakes. It's the lovely and talented DCL Junk. How are you today, Miss Junk?
Good. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on this somber day.
I know. Well, I haven't had you yet. Come on.
I know. It's a week after your anniversary, so I think yeah.
You lay
Not gonna happen.
You'll lay low for a while, right? Yeah. Anyways, why that made me laugh so much, I don't know. But anyways, thank you for being on the show with me today and with all the rest of the All-Stars, because all of us are fucking here. With the exception of Tootie and Hate Mail, so I'll spoil the rest of it for you. But at any rate, thanks for being on today, Miss Junk. Up next, he's the gangster of ganja. Last week, he went to the doctor and said, Doc, I can't stop singing the green, green grass from home. The doc looked at him and said, well, it sounds like Tom Jones syndrome. He said, Tom Jones syndrome? Is that common? The doc said, it's not unusual. It's Sekju. Welcome, sir. That was so lame. I'm sorry. Welcome,
that
sir.
was great. That was great. Thanks for having me on the show, AB. I appreciate it. I'm going to have to apologize to our listeners. I haven't smoked anything today. So this.
Wow.
Ooh.
I know.
We're getting a sober Black Flash, sweet and low high substitute today.
Well, I don't know how sober. I mean, I was at my friend's 40th birthday party last night, and I drank so much that I've been like farting, shitting, and barfing my brains out since like 7 a.m. So I don't know.
Well,
that's probably why I haven't had a chance to smoke yet. But don't you worry. Before Steelers kickoff, there will be a bowl.
right. Popeye's going to get his spinach, right?
He's got to. I need something to help me recover. Because Jesus, just even getting on here. That's why I was only on like 2 minutes before we started. Because I was like, oh my God, I'm in the middle of a conversation with Witty on Discord. I'm like, I have to go shit right now.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't worry. I didn't bring you in there with me. I left the phone out. So.
he's arguing.
Behind the curtain.
But yeah, thanks for having me. Happy to be here, even on this somber Sunday.
That's right. Well, thanks for being here, buddy. We appreciate you. Last but not least, from the hidden isle of Themyscira. Yesterday she told me, I don't want to brag, but I finished a puzzle in under a week. I said, wow. She said, yeah, and to think it said 2 to 4 years on the box. It's Witty Amazon. What's happening out there on Paradise Island?
Hanging in there. It's been a kind of a depressing week. Year if you're talking about DC fans, because everything's falling apart. But yeah. At least we're still all here and we're all together.
That's right. And that's the important thing, right? That's what's most important to me, at least.
And not which Sekju in the bathroom. That's also
Yes.
a plus.
Yeah, you don't want to be in there right now.
Yeah.
It's not a good time.
So thank you guys one and all for coming on today, and I know we're going to get to it here in just a little bit, but Tootie isn't here today, and I know he had a quick message for us, and I wanted to give him a little bit of time, so give about 2.5 minutes for Tootie here. And you think I should roast him before I play his video? Or his little, his commentary, I guess?
Absolutely.
Okay. Everybody knows this next All-Star. Last week he told me he was so bored he memorized 6 pages of the dictionary. Yeah, he told me he learned next to nothing. It's Tootitron. All right. That wasn't very good. But
the smart joke. That's a very smart
dictionary
joke.
joke.
Yeah. It's a dictionary joke.
It's better than a thesaurus joke. I should learn to talk.
Hey, thesaurus is a hard word to say.
It is.
But no, let's...
Is that the word or the dinosaur?
Theosaurus. Oh boy. No, let's take a bit and listen to Tootie, and let's check it out.
Hello everyone. By now we've probably all heard the news that the game is shutting down. It's pretty much everything on Reddit at this point in time. I'm here to express my gratefulness to the community, to my viewers on YouTube, to Atlantis After Dark and its beautiful podcast and its crew, and also WROL to an extent. I was a frequent guest over there as well. I loved this game. I loved this community. I thought it was a perfect manifestation of all of our favorite characters. And I really, really enjoyed it, as you probably could see me in the content for, 3+ years. So I'm a little sad that it's ending, although I do think that we did reach the pinnacle of its lifespan. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much left it had to offer, but I am excited to see where, WB takes DC games in the future on mobile. I may or may not continue creating content, we'll see. But my biggest ask is that if you've found use in the Atlantis After Dark podcast, or my YouTube channel, or the sales calendars that I helped create, the DC Oracle, the DC Legends Toolkit. I did not have any hand in Toolkit, but it is a useful tool that a lot of good people put together. If you appreciated any of that work that we put into the community, I would appreciate if you helped donate to my UNICEF fundraiser, just so we can, help put some good back into the world. The goal is $1,000. We're just over 100. God, I can't speak today. We're just over 100 already, and that way we can show that we are just as super heroic as our favorite characters in the game. So, thank you very much to everyone who included themselves in the community and our viewers. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, and thank you, Tootie. We appreciate it. If you're so inclined to get over there, I think he's left links all over Discord to donate. I don't know if I've seen any in specific, but I think he left a link on our server. Did he?
If not,
Wait, did he say the game's? Did he say the game's coming to an end?
Oh no!
Yeah, I got 3 pages on Kite Man's kit for today. What the?
What are you guys trying to say? Should we get into some DCL?
Whoa! Let's put the gong. Yeah.
Whoa! That gong came out of nowhere.
That gong out of nowhere. Anyways, yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room. It isn't a giant fucking elephant, if not that. As of October 31st. DC Legends will be no more. The app will no longer be available in the store. The server will be down. You won't be able to access any. Is that true? You won't be able to access any of it. You'll just be.
The app's already out of the store.
Right. Okay.
Because we had a couple longtime members that wanted just to come back, like you did, AB, to retire with us, and they couldn't do it. Rhino tried to get back in, because I offered him. I said, "Hey, could you come back with our last spot?" And he couldn't even. The app was gone.
Right.
But yes, they're saying we can. I'm saying after October 31st, I don't think you can even access get in the game.
Yeah.
Shockingly, it'll probably just be some sort of out of sync if you try.
Out of sync error.
Which is irony at its fucking best.
Yeah. Coming soon.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought the irony at its best was the people shouting for the Zatanna rework for so many years because she's the first character you get, and the last character we get is new Zatanna.
Yeah. What? Wait, are we not going to do new characters next month, or
I assume not.
Yeah, what would be the point? Okay. Like they can't sell them if they're disabling the shop after September or what, 22nd or something.
Yeah, there's going to be nothing in the shop.
Yeah, I hope they go out with the bang and just hand us gems and characters we want to finish, and just because there's no point in bringing new characters because no one's gonna buy them, and Siege doesn't make sense right now. It doesn't make sense. So I was farming Blue Beetle, but at this point, what for?
Yeah.
I almost tagged everyone to alert them of the Blue Beetle 6-day starting, and then I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah, you go into the Alliance shop and there's good characters like Big Barda, Black Flash, Black Adam, and I'm like, yep. What for? At this point, that's how I feel. It's kind of depressing to know. I mean, we've always complained about the game every now and then, but after they fixed the Coliseum, they improved the rewards this month. All the siege bands, I think they were trying to improve the game. So this, for me, it came out of nowhere, and I wasn't really expecting this to go down like this. But it is what it is. We'll get down with the ship no matter what.
It was very surprising, and like you said, we complained, but we complained because we care. Like, you don't complain because you don't give a shit. If you don't give a shit, you just quit the game and leave. So,
and they did something about it, right?
Yeah, like they responded. It was like, holy crap. And like earlier we had gotten the patch notes and it seemed like things were trending like in a more positive direction, not negative. So yeah, this was kind of surprising, even though we all knew this day would one day come. Like we all said, we're going to be here till the end, till the game is gone. And we knew that would happen eventually. I just think it really caught everyone off guard because here we are cruising towards anniversary month when usually there's anniversary celebrations and everything like that. And it's like, no, instead we decided to pull the plug. So toodles and nice seeing you guys.
I think what majorly probably ended it was they had this whole thing planned with the chaos and sales and everything, and they expected to make a bunch of money off of it to show that the game was still valid and a moneymaker, and it was just a mess. They had to crash as everything went wrong, and it failed. And I think it was probably like their last-ditch effort to probably get funded for the next year or something like that. You know how the boards go and they do their meetings for funding. I think that's what happened. This was going to be their, see, we're still making a profit. We'll be able to continue for another year. And it just bombed.
Yeah, I haven't spent real money in over 6 months. So, I mean, that's, I'm probably, I'm not a whale by any stretch, but.
Yeah, but that's at least $150.
I mean,
raid packs alone.
Yeah, I mean,
me
exactly.
Too. Like a lot of people were like that because I was the same way. I haven't spent any money even on raid packs. I've nothing for the last 6 months. So I just I was like, I couldn't see justifying it, quite honestly.
And I justified it far longer than it was justified. And then finally I just said I can't even do this anymore. I have all the alliance, or I have all the raid energy I could ever fucking use. Our alliance got so good at raids, all of a sudden I took a huge step back in attacking alliance bosses, mainly because I didn't have to. I went from 800 a raid to freaking 300. But just because I'd go in on a Friday and George would be freaking pounding shit, and I was like, it's hard to even get in. So you know what? I have an awesome team that is just so good. I took a step back and I didn't need the packs.
So I guess there won't be another raid.
I still think there's going to be one at the end of this month.
You think?
They already had it announced in code. You assume that it's in the coding to happen automatically.
That's a really weird situation.
Yeah, I mean it is, but I don't know. I look at it as like one last opportunity to do something with our team. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, and I'm fine with that. I just
Yeah.
like for those that are going to come to us and say, "Hey, let's try to win this thing," just don't.
Yeah. No.
No,
Yeah,
I mean
that's pointless.
just save that because, by the way, there are going to be some teams that really do take that seriously.
Yeah.
And really do
Twats.
push. Yeah, exactly.
You know what the way
And really do
I don't
want to
know,
win
Biff.
that last
I got
one.
9,000 Alliance energy I got to burn, so it's got to go somewhere. And I
Well-
only got one raid left.
Well, so what if they just said everybody gets the same rewards for the raid, and that would just
Well, but who
negate.
cares
Oh, that
about
would take the
rewards
wind out
at
of it.
this point?
Yeah, what's the point?
Like,
It's-
like the rewards.
Well,
that's
I'm just
actually-
trying to think about what would cause people to want to play the raid competitively, because there's no.
this is the last
Well,
one.
Yeah.
because it's the last hurrah.
Oh,
and I get
oh,
that, and,
well,
and that's why I'm saying, like, because I've already seen messages in our thing saying, "Hey, should we try to win it?" And I'm like, no. First of all, we're not getting off brand at this point, and second, there are going to be teams that really want to win that last one, and when you have a bunch of people that are really focused on it, that's pissing in the wind right there. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
We're good.
We're good.
We don't have anything to prove. We took top 10.
No,
We felt
we
like it
don't.
passing. So you
No,
know, there's
we are
really nothing
we
to
are the
prove.
greatest day one raid boss
That's right.
alliance of all time, fucking, and no one can say otherwise.
That's right. That's right. And so much to that point that Biff, you kind of spoiled at the top of the show, but I have rejoined Atlantis After Dark.
Yes.
And I'm going to see this thing through all the way through October 31st.
So am I, and I'm having fun. I'm
Yeah.
using teams I want to use.
Yeah. 'Cause it doesn't matter.
And don't care if I lose. Listen, I'm still in a routine. I know what he said, like, what's the point of the Alliance shop or whatever. I still, clock hits noon and I check to see what the new characters are. It's force of habit.
Don't get me wrong. Me
yeah.
too. It's a force of habit, and every time, like clockwork, I go in and just see what is there. But there's no point because I will be able to upgrade the character. So I just go in there and see what's going on up there. But really, it makes no sense to to be upgrading characters and stuff like that. I'm just mainly using characters that I love and that I have rebirthed. And like you said, no win or lose, just put our teams out there, put the characters we want out there, and just embrace it till the end. I've been playing with Red Hood again, Flash, Constantine, characters that I used very frequently before the meta killed them, and that's just gonna be it until the end because that's what makes sense right now. Farming doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah, sadly, that's true. I have a little story. The day before this happened, my son, I was in here playing, and my son said, "What would you do if they all of a sudden said they were canceling it?"
He jinxed it.
Yeah, this is the day
did it.
before. I'm not kidding.
Damn it,
And-
baby Retpmus.
And this is what
So-
I told. This is
So
what
I murdered him.
So this is all like bittersweet to me, and I'll tell you why. Because when he asked me that, I was just like, in some ways I'd probably be really happy because then I don't have to worry about getting the next character, making sure they're upgraded, making sure I get points for raids, make sure I log in every day and collect this. I can devote my time to other projects that I really need to focus 100% on and get some stuff done. Because I also play Raid Shadow Legends as well. I'm in a great alliance there. I just actually put in my resignation yesterday to Raid Shadow Legends and told them my next clan versus clan is what they call their raids is going to be this next one, and then I'm out of the game. And they said I always have a place, just like they're a great place, not as good as WAD at all, but they were a great clan to be part of. But I was just like, that way I can focus on stuff that I want to do, that I enjoy, you know. And it's not that I didn't enjoy DC Legends, it just became, like Biff said, it became habit. And if I missed it or something for some reason, then it would bug me. Like if I forgot, oh, I forgot to log in and get those extra shards today, you know, I would feel a little down for a while. And then when they announced that it was canceled, I was just like, yes, it's canceled. Now I have all this free time. And then I'm just like, and then I was just like, tell my wife, I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. I had a great 7 years, played it, you know, from the very beginning to now, had a great alliance, had wonderful time. I was just like, but now I'm going to be able to move on and I don't have to really worry about it. And I felt good. And then about 2 hours later, I felt sad. I mean, it hit me for some reason. I don't know why. I felt really sad. I was just like, man, this thing has been part of my life for 7 years. Every day. Played it every day. I don't think there was maybe I missed it. I think 2 days out of 7 years I didn't play it. And that was because I was like really sick. But out of 7 years, I only missed 2 days. And now that's over. And it really kind of depressed me and made me feel sad. But we have a wonderful alliance and wonderful alliance mates. So I'm going to stay in the channel. I'm going to talk to everybody about upcoming projects. We're going to get everybody involved and we're going to have a good time still. And you know what? I think we should still have a call at least once a month just to BS.
Well, I'm of the mindset, just like you were saying, that you know, the main reason I even play this game is you guys. Like, it's not so much the game, it's the company I have and the alliance I'm in and the people in the community that I like talking to. So I have no intent of going anywhere, and hopefully AB is going to maintain our Discord server, and I really hope the other DC Legends Discord servers figure out something to do too, the ones, you know, the few I'm still a part of. But you know, you guys are what makes the game special. It's not that I love the characters too, obviously. Like, I'm a DC fan first and foremost, but it's the people I've been talking with and playing with for the past 4 years that make this game worth playing and worth sticking around for. So, that was my biggest concern, was like, what's going to happen to like all these great friends I've made over these years once this game ends? Are we going to find something else to do together? What comes next? But, you know, I'm still down for getting together every week to talk to you guys just about random DC bullshit if you want to. It doesn't have to be DC Legends. So I don't know. But yeah, I was kind of like Retpmus when it first hit. I was like, oh, you know, this has been a long time coming. I guess it is what it is. But like a day later, I'm just like, man, this really sucks. It just really sucks. Because, you know, like, yeah, we, like Witty said earlier, we have the things we've all complained about. We've had our issues with out of sync and having to be kicked out during raids to be able to see the raid bosses, and, you know, the game glitching and all these other issues, but we complain because we care and we want to play it. And having that taken away, even though, you know, it was always going to happen, it just sucks. And knowing that they're not going to make the effort to make it accessible offline so you can still maintain your character rosters or whatever, or at least look at them, that sucks too. To know that you've invested all your time and effort into building this roster that you're probably not going to ever access again after October 31st.
Yeah.
Like that part of it really sucks.
So.
I'm kind of looking forward to it because I can't stand any of you people. I came here to talk DC Legends and we never get to. It's just ridiculous. No, no, part of me.
Kite Man's AOE. Let's get into it.
No, we are talking DCL. No, that's like the biggest thing for sure. Like, I was actually in Greenwich, Connecticut last night, which is like as white as you think. Which I thought like, oh, I think like BIFF, aren't you from around that area? Like within an hour of there or something.
Within an hour, yeah, but I can promise you, I'm not.
No. Oh, yeah, no one is. It's like it's like you go there, you look like they're about to hold an auction for minorities. You know, it's like really, it's like Get Out like times 10. It's crazy, wow. But immediately I thought like, oh, that this is cool. Like if I ever come back, maybe, you know. But then so you think about like all the people in the alliance and stuff, and like it was a good run. We bitched about it a lot, and there's still things that they're never gonna fix, and now we know why. But I mean, overall, it's like it's hard not to have like Tootie was talking about being a little grateful for how cool it was for the last 7 years. You know, I mean, then again, get him next month, not having to spend 50 hours to try and get my raid or siege bosses will be good. But
I mean, think of like the pandemic. like what a big part it became like during that, like as a distraction, as a, you know, I'll probably tell a story in a little bit personally when we wrap up, what it's meant to me. Not as, I haven't been sad at all. I wasn't surprised at all. I had a little bit of like anger when I looked at my RB4 Scarecrow and RB4 Eclipso that like, damn you guys, you haven't given me a sale of either of them in 3 years. So I could finish them off. But other than that, it's just been reflective of the friends we've made. And just kind of some of the real life stuff. I've used DC Legends as a distraction from, because the last 7 years for me has not been a banner time frame as far as tragedy and things along those lines. So the game a lot of times was my 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 20 minutes to get away.
Yeah. And since we all kind of went around the horn here a little bit, let me take a little bit of time and I just want to say, usually we have banter betwixt ourselves before and after the show. And I think a lot of people know and probably realize that. But I've said it on the banter behind the scenes in the show. And I think I've said it, you know, a time or two on the air as well. But if the game ever did go away, Double AD doesn't go away just because the game does. And I don't care what we talk about. I would still like this to be a thing where we get together every couple of weeks, every week, every couple of weeks, whatever the case may be, whatever our cadence is, and still do this. We can talk about anything. We don't have to talk about DC Legends. We can talk about the price of tea in China. We can talk about, you know, remote controls. We can talk about anything we want to talk about in this whole big wide universe. And I don't think it matters because it's just like you guys said. This is about a community. And I realize that we all have one single common unifying tether that makes us the community. But I also strongly believe that this isn't a joke. This isn't an accident. This isn't something that just, you know, happened. I think all of us, you know, connected up for whatever reason on the grand scheme of the universe. And we're all here together for some reason. So I think, go ahead, Biff.
No, I was just going to say, like Witty says it all the time, like in our Discord channel, like how many talented people we have in this alliance in different things. I mean, you know, I don't know if people know what Miss Junk and what she does in real life, nor I don't know if she wants everyone to know, but super talented. You know, you have Witty and
she's not a hooker, by the way.
No, I was gonna say there's a glory hole.
She'd be great at that too.
Yeah, believe me, I tried. That was my first career path, and it did not go well.
Witty and Dr. Slippers, like in our alliance, like sharing these unbelievable photography. Retpmus is brilliant at what he does, and you're going to see that coming up. Me and Sekju, we just get wasted all the time. Like we're just
you're the culinary experts.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We're just super talented group, and you know, even look, I wouldn't even let AB really open the show today. We're talking about gambling and Dice Clay. Like we all have stories, and we can continue to do this as long as we want and fill up an hour quite easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, I spotted a wild Retpmus.
He's on camera. It's been so long.
I know, right?
Everybody listening is like, what are they fucking talking about?
I'm not gonna tell you what Retpmus is doing, but have you ever seen Chat Roulette?
That's a dick. That's a dick. That's a dick. Oh yeah, there's another dick.
Oh man, my wife was actually just telling me about that for a Halloween costume that her chiropractor was saying last year he went as just a plain suit with a bunch of brown bags stapled to his suit. They all had names of different famous dicks. So he was literally a bag of dicks for Halloween. And I'm like, that's amazing. I feel like I need to steal that.
That's great.
Dick York, Dick Sargent, Dick Vitale.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Name
is
is
like
Dix.
it is pretty amazing that like if you think about it, like there's really like what possible world other than DC Legends would we have all got all six of like all of the people who do this podcast have gotten together and hang out and have so much fun together, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, especially given how like the world is so divided in so many ways.
Yeah.
So like nothing
Yeah.
matters. We just like all just like
None of us would have
coalesce here.
met.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, like I said, there's something to be said for something in the universe works mysterious ways.
You know, AB,
yeah.
we could, if you wanted to, we could also do it kind of like how we kind of did this snippets for a while, where we talked everything like TV shows, video games,
absolutely,
movies of DC Legends. I mean, we had a really good time when we were doing that when you were on hiatus.
We should. There's only one problem. They're killing every show and movie and game right now.
We also did retro. We had the retrospect where we did like Wonder Woman, Linda Carter, and we did like talked about older shows in the past, like why they succeeded versus like what today and why they're failing or succeeding. We could do things like that. Even action figures, talk about the newest toys that Todd McFarlane's bringing out. We have so much material and so many different things that we all like. We can just say, okay, well, what topic do you want to do? And then each one of us can bring something.
I'm just going to slip Biff and Witty my DC Comics Infinite password access, so that way they can get into those and start reading some more comics with us too. Unlimited access to everything.
Nice.
I've actually started reading a book, believe it or not. Now that's
what book?
It's called I don't even remember what it's called anymore. It's even in English, so I can practice my my English. It's called 13.
Okay.
It's a crime drama.
Cool. Well, we're definitely going to have more time for reading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
My eyes don't agree with reading anymore.
Except for the labels. How much proof is this?
Well, they told me I'm still 20/20, but now I can't read a goddamn small thing in front of my face. They said
tell me
I'm 20/20.
That's nearsighted?
Yeah.
I can't remember which one that is.
If you can see far away but not up close, that means you're
wait,
farsighted.
I could read a sign on the highway 2 miles away.
Right.
But now I can't read a piece of paper.
Right. No, same. Reading glasses. I tried to read a book. This is how weird. Like, you ever listen to a podcast that's so bizarre you can't stop listening to it? Like, I was listening to Freakonomics podcast, which is crazy, and they did a 3-part history on whaling. I'm not kidding, and I was like riveted. I'm like, oh, tell me more, and so I tried to read Moby Dick, and it's brutal. I never read it in high school. I'm halfway through. Like, speaking of reading, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I mean, there are words like that are so old, like so old that they're no longer like, if you like highlight it on your ebook to try and Google search it, nothing comes up. It'll be
that's
like,
not a thing. What are you talking about? Google doesn't know it. What?
right. Or it's like some obscure like reference to a whaling ship's oven, whatever the hell. And it's like, I don't know. But I'm trying to read again.
A lot of blubber.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know what you mean about that, falling into that trap with like random documentary stuff on YouTube. My son's been super into like sinking ships. He's all about sinking ships.
Right.
And yesterday I was like, all right, well, let's do something together. So I put on a video of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which is a fairly famous ship, obviously because of the song and everything. And he was riveted for like 30 minutes, but then he got up and left, and I watched a whole other documentary about like an 1870s like steamboat called the SS Arctic or something like that off the coast of Nova Scotia. And now I know all kinds of random shit about that, but I just got caught in it. I was in it. I was like, this is riveting.
You know what I've been really getting into lately on YouTube is there's a channel called the Y-Files. You ever heard of that? It's got this. Nope. It's like conspiracy theories. Oh, look, there's Witty's book 13.
It's pretty cool. Conspiracy theories.
Oh, on the jury. That's
I heard a conspiracy theory the other day about why DC Legends ended.
Okay, I'll bite.
The conspiracy theory was because twatty Batman joined the Owls.
Twatty Batman. That was it. That was the last stroke, right?
That was it. They knew the universe was finished.
I thought it was just Necron's plan was to win it all, and
Yeah.
we weren't
He
strong
won
enough.
a-
We weren't strong enough to stop him.
He outlasted us.
He gets the last laugh after all.
We needed White Lantern Swamp.
So tell us about that YouTube channel.
Oh, the Y-Files. Yeah. So this guy, I think his name is AJ, and he's done television and stuff before, but I recognize him. But he has this little goldfish that's like a hecklefish that sits next to him. That's not the best part of the show. The best part of the show is he just does a good job. I mean, the way he narrates the show, the way that he puts the show together, the way he produces it, really, really, really good stuff. If you have a minute and you like conspiracy theories, you know, they talk about like your standard stuff, your Roswell and, you know, that kind of stuff. But they also get into some things like the Varginha saucer crash, which if you've never heard about that before, that is some fascinating stuff. If you've never heard...
I stay away from Varginhas.
Now wait, so the Y-Files is what you're talking about, but the Batman guy that Biff was talking about was on Zuzu's server. Like, I think he was talking about he actually has a Twitter feed or something about conspiracy theory. If you follow that sort of stuff too, I think I saw
Andy's
that.
a douchey alliance leader too.
Yeah.
Wow. I was only with him for 2 months before Black Lantern Corps dissolved into
Black
nothing,
Lantern Corps, man.
I was with him for one day until he kicked me out because I didn't understand that you couldn't speed force alliance points on the first day.
Jesus.
24 hours into alliance.
That Black Lantern Corps structure pissed me off. Like, Witty recorded me into number 2, and I was all cool with number 2, and then they're like, "We need you at number 1 for the raid." I'm like, "But I don't want to raid with Team 1. I was with Team 2. What the fuck?"
Yeah, you're number 2 kind of guy. We've figured that out by now.
You know where number 2. Do you know where I was?
He's been going number 2 all day.
Do you know where I was in BLC? I was in BLC 9. It was the lowest rung you could be in. Imagine that.
I was recruited into Zebel for KOA into their second tier. It was my first multi-tier alliance was KOA. And I was recruited to be in the second tier because I didn't want to push top 10. And 48 hours into my KOA experience, I was told I was being moved up to the first one for raids. And I was like, we just had this conversation. I don't want to push top 10. But those multi-tiered alliances.
Meanwhile, that's why Mr. Danig left Atlantis, is because we were both in Atlantis and they dropped him down to Zebel and he wanted to raid with top 10 group.
Oh,
it was just like
Great management.
They want exactly what you don't want.
Right. It's like real life work.
Right. Well, I think the best part of all of this is we can look fondly back on these things now, as opposed to, you know, back when they happened. But
yeah, I wasn't happy with being kicked out of Alliance after 24 hours of alliances being a thing. That was not a banner moment for my DCL career, but I think in the end I probably justified sticking around for more than 24 hours in UJLA or whatever the fuck that twat started.
UJLA. My God.
What
wow.
does that stand for?
I used to know.
United Justice League America?
Why not just JLA?
Because they're united.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It used to
I guess
be.
it was. I thought it was implied.
But by the way, don't miss.
This
a
is not
PvE
like
day.
this is not like the Avengers where they always have to say assemble. It's the United Justice League of America.
It's in the name,
right? Unite. No, I think what it was is there was a combination. That's why there were so many tiers to this damn thing. It was 2 whole guilds, if you were, smashing together to make one giant guild. That's why you had 10 alliances in that one guild. It was just ridiculous. It was a management nightmare.
It was too much.
Yeah, it was a management
a
nightmare.
lot of people to manage.
Would make my brain hurt.
Yeah. But it's been a sad couple of days, but I think we're all going to be all right. You know, we all seem to be going on to different things, and I don't think the Discord server's going anywhere, right? I mean, I actually have
Shouldn't
ours.
be. We have a
Right.
lot of channels that serve different purposes that
Right.
we still can connect with
Yeah.
the people we love and we like to banter. So
We can
there's
probably
no
close
point
the
in
raid
close it.
strategy channels.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could probably
Raid
close some of
strategy,
those
raid
The-
schedule,
Yeah, nightmare comps is probably
PvPs,
going away.
nightmare comps.
right?
Dude,
Golly.
Biff's gonna do some house cleaning.
Yeah, no, we'll talk. We'll talk as a leadership team and say, hey, I think anything to do with in-game strategy will go away. I'm guessing.
Yeah,
That's-
probably.
So,
I think
so
we-
speaking
I think we
of,
should-
of leadership, we're putting Lurking in charge of heroes and villains, right? Like he's gonna be the
Why?
leader. Oh, I thought that he wanted it.
No, we'll all be.
It's gonna
Well-
put every character to gear 3 before he gets to
Yeah,
gear 4.
he's gonna be like.
I just wanted somebody to say that.
He's gonna be like, hey, does everyone have their captain upgraded?
Captain.
The captain. She's pretty hot, actually. in game.
Yeah. Homicide.
By the way,
She
that's
hits hard too. If she, I
that's
mean,
a
I
good-
had to use her for a while.
AB, just so you know, to tell the audience.
Oh,
next
sure.
week, just since we reference heroes and villains, it's kind of a something we never got the opportunity to even consider with DCL. We
Right.
get the opportunity next week on heroes and villains.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I was going to share with you guys. Sorry, I froze for a bit. I was going to share with you
Dead
guys.
air.
Headlights
Dead
there for a
air.
minute.
We
He's
got
like,
dead
"Oh,
air."
fuck."
I know. I'm a dumbass. What actually happened? I got an email and it popped up in front of my screen. It never happens. So, but no. So we're gonna have on next week the some really high ranking officials, and when I say this, I mean really high ranking. The head of product, Charles Olivier Byron. I hope I'm saying that right. Charles Olivier Byron.
They're from Montreal, right?
Yes, and they are
So
from
it's,
Montreal. Yeah, he's the head of the
Olivier Baron.
product.
Olivier Baron.
Yes. Lisa Ann Martin, the art director.
Lisa
And-
Ann Martin.
Yes, and Sebastian or Seb.
Biff will be doing intros next week.
That's right.
Yeah.
Biff, it's on you, buddy.
Like it.
And we also have Seb Charlotte, who's the lead game designer, and they will be on as well.
How do you say that one, Biff?
What was it again?
Seb Charlotte?
Seb Charlotte.
Seb Charlet?
Seb Charlotte, probably,
be.
maybe. Yeah.
By the way, in my childhood, I spent every summer in Quebec City, with a French Canadian speaking family, because I went away to hockey camp, every summer. So I learned how to speak, French Canadian. And I also learned in my first trip to Paris that Parisians, don't view that dialect as French. When I was just told after ordering at a restaurant, just speak English. So Parisians are very snotty, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. My only experience in Paris was that everybody wants to be mean to you.
Yeah.
It was a
Okay.
rough visit.
Yeah, Montreal's awesome though. Montreal is one of the best towns.
Oh, yeah.
Around, like
Montreal's
it's so cool.
Yeah, I've never
If
been
they
to
ever
Paris.
invite us
I
up,
saw Cirque
they
du
ever
Soleil
invite us
show
up to the
there.
studios, I'll go to Montreal in a heartbeat and meet up with them.
If we go to
Although I
Montreal-
have lost my French.
I'll take you guys to all the best strip clubs in No.
Really?
Connections.
Connections?
There are up there. There's this. I can't remember. I mean, Montreal's great, but there's this one street. I think St. Catherine, maybe.
Yes.
I think
That
that's
is
the one
actually
where
what
it's
it
like
is.
it's all just like
Biff knows.
right.
Oh no, confirmed.
Right.
I went. Me and my brother-in-law. We were at my grandmother's house in very northern Vermont. It was during the summer, and we're sitting at their house. There's no Wi-Fi. Like this is the middle of nowhere. Like your phone says you're in Canada, even though you're not. Like
Right,
you're in
right.
Vermont. We're about 10 minutes from the border, and so we look in the newspaper because that's the only way to communicate with the world at that point there. And the Montreal Expos, so this tells you how long ago we're talking about, because the Montreal Expos no longer exist, are playing the Toronto Blue Jays in a baseball game in Montreal. So me and my brother-in-law are bored stiff in Nowheresville in Vermont. So we decide to drive an hour to Montreal, and we get to the Montreal Olympic Stadium about 2 hours before game time, and there's no one around. And we're like, this just looks really weird. That there's a baseball game, a professional baseball game being played in a couple hours versus two Canadian teams. So that the Canadians are very nationalistic, so they'd be very excited about it. And because huge rivalry. And then all of a sudden, like, we get an hour to game time and there's nobody around. And I call my friend, because this is 90s, we're talking. And I said, hey, did you read anything online about the Montreal-Toronto game? And he looked it up and he goes, yeah, they're playing it in Puerto Rico. And I'm like, what in the hell would they take the two Canadian teams playing each other and move that game to Puerto Rico? Because it was right before Montreal dissolved and moved. But yeah, so that's where I knew St. Catherine Street, because we had some time on our hands because there was no baseball game, and me and my brother-in-law were not going back to Vermont. Another useless story.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, those are the kinds of stories we like.
So what games are you guys got to be playing? Do you think or you think you're just gonna try and take a break from phone games for a while? With the Odyssey here on some villains.
I'm looking for Retpmus's game, which stay tuned and stay close to us, because that is going to be awesome.
That's coming out.
I'll definitely be on that.
So I guess, without trying to be too depressing, let's take it around the horn, and
it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, let's get everyone's last.
I'm going to
word.
Depress people a little bit.
All right. Well, then we'll start with you. We'll start with.
What? No, Retpmus first, man.
Yeah, we'll start with Retpmus. We'll keep it classic.
That's no reason to change the lineup now.
Well, reiterate what I said earlier. I want to thank everybody. It's a game ending, not our friendships. So we got to remember that. We're going to stay strong, and we'll have our own alliance that is Alliance After Dark, not DC Legends. So we're going to continue, and I hope it doesn't turn out like, a lot of things, like you go in high school, you have your best friends and stuff, and they all move away and they never talk to each other. Since it's virtual, we don't have a reason not to keep talking to each other. So set a little thing in your phone, like, oh, every Thursday, every Friday, I'm going to just jump in channel and say, what's up, guys? What have you been up to? Blah, blah, blah. Just so we keep in contact with each other and we don't drift apart. Like Biff said, there's going to be some good things coming soon.
Coming soon.
I had to throw that in there. Everybody should get that joke. But for real, coming soon, and I think it will make a lot of people really happy. So I don't want to get too much into that until I have a little bit more reference material to share with everybody. But I've got to say that you guys are fantastic. This is probably the highlight of my week after working all week long, being stressed out, being able just to come and just chat with you guys like nothing else in the world exists. It's a breakaway. It's kind of like, a freedom. And I really enjoy it. I mean, I like Witty's little quips, Junk, Biff, Sekju, Tootie. I mean, Hate Mail, everybody. AB's, little roast at the beginning. I think they're hilarious. And I hate it when we don't have a show because, I was like, man, I didn't get roasted today, or we didn't get to hear about this, or, it's like, it's just become, like something that kind of depended on a little bit, to, I don't know, soothe, your mental state, if you will, to make you feel a little bit better. And I think that's why we become such a great team, because it's like we have each other's backs. We actually care for each other. We'll call each other up if one of us have problems, or we'll try and get a hold of each other and see if we can help. I mean, that's what friends do. We might live miles away from each other, countries away from each other, but you can still support each other. And I want to continue to do that with everybody. And we'll go into our next phase of game playing, game sharing, TV show sharing, whatever, comes to be, will be. And we'll have fun and enjoy each other's company.
I agree, pal. We're going to keep rocking this thing until it's done and cooked. Whatever that means. All right. Thanks, buddy. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you. I just want you to know that these days. All right.
I appreciate everybody.
Biff, tell it like it is, pal.
Yeah, so I apologize up front. I've kind of dominated a lot of the conversation today. I probably have my most mic time in any episode of AAD ever today, and I'm going to continue it right now because I do have a couple things to say. One, around the team. All of you that are still with AAD have been with us for a long time and have been absolutely amazing. But there's also been some people that have retired from the game. Probably the one thing I'm most proud of this team is we've had one player in all the years of AAD leave our alliance to go to another alliance. Every other player that's left our alliance has left to disable the game and retire. And there have been a lot of them that were very critical to our growth. People like the first three that come to mind are recent retirements, which make me sad because I wish they hung on to the end because they were such a big part of our team. It was Last Son of Mars, Rhino, LeBeau. Those three were with us almost since the beginning and helped build everything we had. I mean, you have Lady Cat, Zinthus, Armont, Shady, Atlas, all these people that were a big part of our growth. So I just want to thank everyone for that, and the team will continue. Another thing, and my wife just showed up, and I don't know if she's going to want to hear this. Today is the most difficult day in our calendar, and it coincides with everything going on here. Today is the 5-year anniversary of my wife's son, my stepson, passing away tragically. And this game, in a way, came at a very difficult time in my life, where my wife was, the night he died, she was going to have her first chemotherapy session the next day. So she had just been diagnosed with cancer. And then that hit us. And I had one job at that point, and it was to get my wife to even want to fight, even want to go on. It was her only child, my only child. And I had to be strong just to get her to want to fight and want to fight cancer and want to move on. And I just remember when I was making all the arrangements for ceremonies, for this, for that, for this, just to keep her insulated from it. The only time in my day where I had an escape was DCL. I took 20 minutes. That's my wife's hand, by the way. Took 20 minutes just to escape from the world and to do something that didn't matter at a time where every other action I did was life and death. And, it was, this game meant a lot because of that. All right, that's it. Depressing rant over.
Well, thank you very much, Biff. I know I speak for probably everyone when I say that we appreciate the fact that you shared that with us. And I know this game means a lot to you, and I know this game means a lot to a lot of other people. So I want you to know we all care about you, buddy.
Can I do like some Andrew Dice Clay now?
Yeah, by all means. By all means.
Oh no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Let's move it along. I've talked too much today.
Anyways, thank you, Biff. We appreciate it, buddy. And we look forward to hearing from you again next week. Miss Junk, I'll let you do that next one, huh?
Yeah,
By the way, now you know how I feel every week. Kevin Flores.
Wow. Yeah, this is gonna go over great. No, first of all, thank you for sharing that, Biff. That's I'm so glad that you found that. It's similarly, I started playing this about a few months after my mom died. It was one of those things where I just started like she died in 2016, and the game came out a few months after that, and I started playing, and it was just such a great escape. My last little thoughts, I just like, first of all, I think all of us here are gonna play pretty much till the end, like till the server goes dark. And I just say, like, if to anyone out there, just, it's the last month, just really try and have fun with it. You don't have to complete all the things. You don't have to just put everything on auto now. You can actually just try and, like, maybe there's a character that you didn't want to waste your resources on because, what's the point? Well, now's the point. Now that you get to do that. So I would say just like try and have fun with it if you can. And yeah, really just like really, I don't know, that's about it. Really, like, be thankful for all those bonds you made throughout the game. I don't think any alliance, I can guarantee no other alliance is as close as we are, but yeah, just like let's go out and have fun with it as much as we can.
I agree. And thank you very much, Miss Junk. All right. Sekju, tell us what's going down, man.
I just want to, thank Biff again for sharing that, because I know he has in the past with me personally. So every time I hear that story, it's hard too, because I've had a lot of losses to the same circumstances, and I'm so glad that his wife made it through and like fought, and that he was able to lead her back, because I can't imagine losing my child. So I don't know, on the positive side of things, give me 1 second here. Sorry.
You're good, buddy.
Oh, what Retpmus was saying. The first thing I do when I get on my phone is I check Discord in the Atlantis After Dark server. The game is like an afterthought at this point. So, I love the game. Everybody should play. Everybody should have a good time, but it's the relationships with you guys that make it all matter. So, like, that's my first priority when I log in. I check to see if Retpmus has sent me a personal message with an update about his game. Like, that's the first thing I look for. I look to see if Biff has, like, some random funny thing he wanted to share, or something in the officers chat that we talk about, just some random funny thing. Or, even with Witty, it's like, I'm going to see what's in the spoiler channel if we're going to argue over something today, and it's going to be fun, because we always have a good discussion. And at the end of it, I'm always like, what an awesome person that, I don't always disagree with, but we always have a great discussion. And I always know at the end of it, we're still going to be friends. So it's like, those are the things that really uplift me about this game. And, I'm not going to miss those things, because I hope those things are going to continue. I will miss playing the game, but we'll find another game to play together. And the people in the community who I'm friendly with, you know who you are. We're going to stick together too, because I'm not deleting my Discord. So just chat, and, we'll get through to another day, and things will get better. Just like for everybody as they're going through hard times, things always get better as long as you try to make them better, and you don't let the things that are getting you down overwhelm you. So I just, just want to leave it with a positive message of keep fighting for the good things in your life, because the more you fight for them, the more likely you are to recognize those good things happening to you. So that's my positive message.
Very well said, buddy. Thank you very much. And I will move on to Witty, and I want you to give us the bottom line, girl.
Well, yeah, I don't really know what to say at this point, because this is it. This is the last one. And even though we always had something to complain about it, for the past 4 years I've played this game daily. Like, I didn't really miss a single day, even when I was working in COVID, in those biohazard suits. I've found a way to sneak my phone into it and play in the other side of the line. So I've played it in my car, in the bathroom, while I was eating, while I was out with friends, everywhere I could. I really played the game, and I tried to maximize everything it gave us. And this is the game that introduced me to Discord, to some really, really cool people and very talented people. Without it, I wouldn't have met any of you for sure. And I sure as hell wouldn't be recording a podcast in a foreign language. That's a kind of bit of risk that I would never take. And if it weren't for AB, I wouldn't be here for sure. So thank you for that. It's been a great opportunity. And if you hadn't pressured me enough to be a guest in a certain episode, I wouldn't be here with you guys today. So thank you for the opportunity. And the game introduced me to so many things, to characters I didn't even know existed. It allowed me to play with some of my favorite DC characters, right until they fucked everything up with their OP shit, but besides the point. But anyways, all good things come to an end, and we might as well take it as it is, and take it as an opportunity to set our minds into new things and to fortify our relationships. I know some of you will be right next to me playing Heroes and Villains. The podcast will still happen, and the server will carry on, and the friendships we made will still carry on. I'll keep checking and logging in every day for new stuff to chat about, whether it's the food channel, the new movies, new games, or super pets. Photography with our mate Slippers, which was a great team addiction, by the way. Great teammate. Or Funko Pop sessions, whatever it is, we'll still be here. We'll be here even when it closes. We'll be here for the DCL Afterlife. We'll all be okay. We'll all be together.
That's right. Stick around for the after party, folks.
Yep. That's where the fun happens.
That's where all the fun happens. So I got one thing. What are you guys talking about on officers chat? You guys have a secret little room that I'm not in? What's up with that shit? I'm the boss. Need the info.
Dude, you came into the alliance like 24 hours ago.
What?
Hey, that guy just joined.
Oh, man.
You got to earn your place.
You told me you didn't want to be a part of that shit.
You're right.
1 month to climb the ranks.
Don't bother me with the details. You guys make the decisions.
That's it. Exactly it. I don't care. I'm just teasing y'all.
I remember that exact message being sent out.
The last chat was pretty heated, and it was around if we were going to let you back in.
Was it really? Man.
Can we get somebody to vouch for this guy?
I wouldn't vouch for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know who it was that said yay, but I wouldn't vouch for me. That's the thing.
Oh, that was me, as usual, making poor decisions.
Oh, my God. Well, gang, we've had a lot of fun today. We've had some laughs, some tears. We've had everything. We've run the full gambit on today's episode. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thanks to all of you. Thanks to all of you who make this show happen. I couldn't do this show. I would sit up here and go, hey, how you doing? It wouldn't be very entertaining at all. But you guys, you're the entertaining ones. You're the ones who make the show what it is. And that goes to everybody who was ever on the show. Gosh, that goes back to Paige Iomi. That goes back to Beatus. That goes back to Beatus, right? What a name, right? Beatus
hated me.
Why did he hate you, man?
I know when you offered me a full-time slot on this thing, he was against it. I'm almost sure of it.
Well, I wasn't, so I'll just put it at that.
Oh, I know, but Beatus was not my biggest fan.
Yeah, I don't know. He was kind of grumpy, but I don't know. For whatever reason, he was cool with me. I don't know. Maybe Witty he was cool with too. Was he cool with you too?
He was pretty cool with me.
Yeah. But if he got on his bad side, he
didn't like me.
Yeah, he was one to not be wrangled with. He was going to tell you what he thought, and that was going to be it.
No. And
I liked that. I mean, I liked that quality about people. You know, if you're going to be honest about it, be honest. I don't care how the delivery is. In fact, sometimes the meaner the delivery, the better it is. Funnier it is. Just my humble opinion. Anyways, not the point. The point is,
It's like those honest reviews we used to get on ADD.
Right. My God.
We're going down memory lane again.
Right. And we're doing it again. We've done
Today
this
is a
already.
memory lane day.
Yeah, it's a memory lane day. But no. The point is, I couldn't have done this without all of you, and without any of you, this show wouldn't be anything. It would just be crap, So thank you guys for giving us, how many years? 4 years that I've done this show? 4 years. I think it's been 4 years since we've done Atlantis After
Is
Dark.
it 4 or 5?
Has it been 5?
It's 4.
Can't be 5 because I've been playing for like 4 years.
Right. Because
Consistently,
Okay.
I think we have 3 going on 4 maybe.
Yeah. So, well, the funny thing, I think September would be 4. I think this is anniversary month. So, yeah. Boy.
Well, because the Alliance, I think, was founded, 5 or 6 months after the podcast? Or was it a year and 6 months after the podcast?
Oh, no. It was probably about
I,
4.
When I first came
Yeah.
to KOA,
Yeah.
when I first came to KOA, it was like I joined the podcast almost immediately, and that was only 2+ years in
Yeah.
to the game.
Yeah.
So I think it, and they did the podcast well before me. So
Well, it
I
wasn't
would say
well
you're
before you. I
closer
mean,
to
we were-
5.
Yeah, I remember the podcast starting whenever Atlantis started, basically, wasn't it?
Right. And I
Yeah.
wasn't originally in Atlantis.
It was probably at the same time the KOA was first coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, because I went straight
Is
from
it-
BLC 2 to KOA, and then
It's,
I was
it's
only with KOA
September,
for a
and
month.
then we started AD in February, I think.
Yeah, so it was about 5 months after the
Yep. That
the
sounds about
Alliance
right.
and podcast started. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So there you go.
It's easily look upable.
That's right.
Yeah.
Look upable is a new word, everybody.
Look upable.
I refuse to pick up my phone.
Right. I don't want to do that. All right. Well, then in any case, thank you guys so much. And I think I thank you guys every week, but I really want to say it again. Thank you guys so much for making this show. It's the best, and you guys are the best. So that's it.
And we'll see you next week.
That's right. And we want to thank all of you for taking the time to be with us today. Get on our website, atlantisafterdark.com. Grab some cool swag from the merch store, get on Discord and talk directly with us, and then hit that subscribe button because you know you want to. For Biff, for Witty, for Sekju, Miss Junk, and who else? Biff? Retpmus? Retpmus. I almost forgot Retpmus. Shit. For Retpmus. We'll see you all right here next time on Double AD. So long, everybody.